So welcome to the Dresden Nexus podcast, recorded live from the 2025 Dresden Nexus Conference. I'm your host, Atika Saleh, and today we're joined by Professor Tshilidzi Marwala, Rector of the United Nations University and UN Under-Secretary General. This year marks a special occasion as we celebrate the 50th anniversary of the United Nations University. Throughout this series, we'll explore the future of resources and how navigating the interconnected challenges of water, energy, food, land, and other resources, the Resource Nexus, will shape our path toward a sustainable world. In this episode, we'll hear from Rector Marwala, who will share his invaluable insights. Thank you for joining us today. And let's dive into the conversation. Given the interconnectedness of water, energy, food, and other resources, what strategies do you see as crucial for fostering interdisciplinary collaborations at UNU and beyond in tackling today's global sustainability challenges?
Thank you very much, and thank you very much for starting the conversation with this very difficult question. I think the first thing that we need to do in order to foster interdisciplinary research is to first understand what our values are. Our values are based on the UN Charter and the Declaration of Human Rights. And all these collaborations we are talking about in the Resource Nexus must actually live to our values. Our values are not to maximize profit. Our values are actually to maximize the well-being of all people. And then the second aspect is really to put incentives into place so that people can be able to collaborate and work together. These incentives are not necessarily financial. These incentives must include some form of resources that needs to be put into place so that people can work together on common problems, so that people can be able to go out there and bid for research grants, so that people can go out there as UNU community and collaborate. And we have many collaborations through our institutes, through our hubs. And finally, it's really to always understand why we do what we do. We do what we do so that we can be able to elevate issues into global policies that are implemented in our member states, so that we can be able to create the world that is sustainable, so that we can be able to meet the aims and objectives of the Sustainable Development Goals. And of course, this interdisciplinary collaboration must actually be conducted so that we are able to advance our key pillars of our strategy: knowledge, partnerships, and visible impact.
Now, as UNU celebrates its 50th anniversary, what milestones do you consider most significant in the university's evolution, and how do you see its mission evolving in the next 50 years?
Well, in the past, many good things have been done. The establishment of the concept of institutes, the repositioning of UNU as a policy interface between universities and the policy space, the proliferation of our presence around the world through our operating units, and now we are operating in many 13 countries, soon to be 14, with hubs in additional 3 countries. These are actually something that are very, very important. Now, looking forward, all these problems of climate change, problems of peace and security, problems, they require technology. So I consider my task and the trajectory of the United Nations University to increasingly incorporate technology into its work. A little bit of augmentation of our identity, which was largely a social and human focused university, to the one that is still concerned about the human and the social, but with increasing interface with technology, AI, biotech, smart materials that are renewable, that are able to absorb some of the excess carbon that exists in our environment.
Great that you mentioned technology. That's exactly my next question. So with rapid technological advancements and also with your background in AI, how can UNU leverage innovation to provide practical solutions to the most pressing challenges, including resource challenges facing our planet today?
I think there are elements of what you need to do. I think first and foremost, we need to capacitate ourselves in those technologies. We need to have the sharpest minds in various areas of technology as part of our ecosystem. And that is why this concept of a hub was so important. I'll give you an example. We launched a hub that focuses on remote sensing for urban planning. And we do it with the City University of New York. Excellent United Nations University hub. It is clear that there is more money out there that has been deployed in remote sensing and AI than we have. So one mechanism of capacitating ourselves is to create these hubs with strategic centers so that we can be able to leverage on their financial and intellectual standing to be able to achieve sustainable development, peace and security, and live by the values of United Nations which are enshrined in our Charter and in the Declaration of Human Rights. Then the second part, which is where our value add is, we need to sharpen our ability to take things from the lab to the policy spaces. And this is where our competitive advantage is. Because universities are very good and very capacitated, certainly the mid-rank to the high ones, to be able to go to the lab and do all sorts of experiments and draw all sorts of conclusions. What they are not good at is to take those conclusions into the policy space. Let alone, you can have a policy space in industry, you can have a policy space in the nation state, you can have a policy space at the international level. This is our role. This is our value add. We are completing that value chain of lab to conclusion to international governance. Very, very critical.
Very nice. Thank you for covering the whole spectrum. Now, one question that I ask to each of our podcast guests, in one word, what do we need most to secure a bright resource future, if you have to?
Values.
Powerful. Thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rector Marwala, for sharing your expertise, your vision on such a critical topic. It's conversations like these that help us reimagine the future of resources, of sustainability, and we hope you enjoyed this episode and that it sparked new ideas on how we can all contribute to a more sustainable, more equitable, values-driven future. And stay tuned for more episodes of the Dresden Nexus podcast, where thought leaders from around the world come together to explore solutions to today's resource challenges. Until next time, I'm Atika Faris Saleh, and thank you for listening.